Well, hello there, people. It's morning in the Canadian Shield in the wilderness here. I just finishing up a coffee here. Wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of some of the bear survival things that I'm having to do here. This is a horse logging camp that I have in the bush here. And we've been going through what I would consider to be quite a cold snap. I can't remember actually a time when we've had this much snow this early and consistently, and this much cold for this long of a time. So the average nighttime temperatures are down in the negative 20s Celsius. The daytimes are up into the mid-teens. I had a few nights there down into the 30s, negative 30s. There's 36 inches of snow in the bush right now, and the snow came in the 1st of December. It's been there ever since. So I've been up for several hours already. What I do, as soon as I get up, obviously I've got to kick up the fire here and have coffee and breakfast. But then as soon as it's late enough to get out the door, what I do is I go out and I've got to get the tractor to start. Every night when I shut down, or every evening, late afternoon, it's before dark, when I get the tractor back to the base camp here, I drain the oil out. I've got a couple of pails here. There's a plastic lidded 5-gallon pail there. I drain the oil out of the crankcase when it's still hot and can flow. I drain it out, and then I bring the oil in and I set it here by the stove where these water pails are sitting here now. And that keeps it warm overnight, because otherwise the tractor won't crank over in the morning. So, and also I have a spare battery here, but I take the battery out of the tractor so it doesn't freeze. So that way I start the morning with warm oil and a warm battery. Then the only unknown variable is the transmission fluid, the hydraulic fluid. You know, it gets quite cold, but and the diesel fuel itself, and I put a lot of conditioner into the diesel fuel to try to keep it flowing. So far the tractor has been starting most mornings doing that, but if you don't bring that oil in and the battery in, it will not start. The other thing I do, as soon as I get that tractor started, is I have to make a water run. That's my first run of the day. What I do is I have to put the pails on the forklift tines on the loader, 10 5-gallon pails, and I go down to the creek and I chop out the ice out of the water hole, and I get my water for the day, bring it back. I put some into the horse's trough to give them their first drink of the day, and then I bring the rest in here. Now it takes about a pail for the kitchen, and then it takes the rest of the pails just get stacked here by the stove to keep them from freezing. Then I feed the horses after they've had a drink, and then once they've had their grain, it doesn't take them long to eat, 5 minutes. Then I bring the pair I'm going to be working in the bush out, tie him up at the manger outside. You can't quite see him from here, just around the corner. Tie him up at the manger. I give him some hay, and then what I do is I take the tractor back to the bush. It's about a half a mile drive back in. I take the tractor back where I'm going to be loading the sleigh and working, and then I get I walk back. By that time I'm usually about half froze. So what I do is I bring the collars in that I'm using, and I bring the bridles in that I'm using, and get them thawing out. because otherwise the collars are frozen stiff as a board, and the bridles are frozen stiff as a board, and the bits are frozen solid. So bring them all in, get them warming up, and then I usually I'll have another cup of coffee, maybe have a pipe, and I'll warm my feet up, take my boots off, set them at the stove, and let them thaw out too, because by that time, in the early morning, it's cold. It is cold. And after about an hour and a half outside in -20, you're about ready for a warm up. So that brings me through till about now. I'm just getting ready to go out now, finish my coffee. I'm gonna go out and get these horses brushed off, get them harnessed up, and then we'll take the you can just see them there. There's Pearl's back, and then Scoot the sled just out there. We'll go back to the bush and get to work. But just wanted to give you a little bit of rundown of the unglamorous side of trying to survive off the grid in subarctic conditions here. So that's the story. Sign out for now. I can't go outside with this camera after it's been inside right away taking a picture, or the frost's up. So we'll just sign off for now. Take care.